Well, welcome back to the Ole Buck Ranch. The project today is to start making masa, corn masa. And I may have shot a video of this before, but I wanted to shoot another video because we're going to try using some different corn this time, and I just wanted to see how it works out. But the process is called, if I can say this correctly, nixtamalization, and it's where you take field corn or dent corn and you add slaked lime or pickling lime and boil it, and what happens is that the lime converts the starches in the corn and adds more nutritional value. And it's a process that goes back thousands of years to early Native Americans, and they figured out that you had to do this in order to survive eating corn, which I'm a little amazed by that, but how did they figure that out? But that's how it's done, and I wanted to start with that today. And it takes 24 hours to actually do the whole process, and we'll start today, and then we'll come back tomorrow and we'll actually finish up, and then we're gonna plan to make maybe some either tamales or taquitos or whatever, and also corn tortillas with the masa. So I hope you enjoy the video, and I appreciate you coming along with us. So here we go. The first thing we need to do is we need to mix 2 tablespoons of the pickling lime in with some clean water. And it actually kind of creates a chemical reaction. You might be able to see it actually smoking. It actually causes the water to heat up when you mix it together. So we're doing a double recipe this time. The recipe actually calls for about 2 pounds or a quart of corn, and we're going to double it. So we've got 2 quarts, and this is the glass gem corn that we grew last summer and that I shelled a couple of days ago. And that's why I wanted to shoot another video, because I'm kind of curious to see how it turns out using this corn. This is a field corn. It's a dent style corn, so it should work just fine. So that's the plan. So here we go. We're just adding the corn into a boiler of water, and then Lisa's going to stir in the slaked lime mixture. Alright, so now what we're going to do is just going to bring this up to temperature, and once it gets boiling, we're going to let it boil for 20 minutes, and we'll be back. Okay, it's boiling good now, so we're going to set the timer for 20 minutes, and once it's done, we just set it aside and let it cool, and we'll come back tomorrow. Okay, it's been 24 hours since we boiled the corn, and now the next step is to wash it and get all the skins off the corn, because that's the whole purpose of doing the nixtamalization, is to dissolve the little pericardium skin off of the corn. And it's that little skin is what causes the corn to be less digestible. So that's what we're going to do now. The best way to do this is you just kind of rinse it off good, and you take a little bit of time in your hands and just rub it together, and that ensures that all the little skins get sloughed off. It takes a little while to do this, but Lisa's doing a fine job. And it's really kind of cool that all the colors of this glass gem corn. It's really neat. And when you boil it with the slaked lime, It kind of helps bring out some of the colors too, I think. It really makes it pop. And we're kind of doing a little bit of simultaneous action here. This is some freeze-dried pulled pork that we're going to use for the taquitos. And Lisa's just grinding it up to get it a little bit finer consistency before we rehydrate it. Alright, well, Lisa's grinding the wet corn in the masa. Essentially that's what masa is. And it's this old Victoria grain mill we bought a couple of years ago. It's really handy to do this. Actually, we bought it for that, but we also use it to grind regular cornmeal and other stuff too. That's what it looks like when it starts. And that's what it looks like when it's done. It's kind of, I'm not really sure what color that is, but it's kind of cool. Now here's the filling, and basically what this is it's a mixture of roast beef and pulled pork that we had freeze dried. Lisa had ground it up and reconstituted it, and then it's put it, some real nice seasoning in with it. So that's going to be our filling, and she's going to mix a little bit of red refried beans in with it too. So and salsa and cheese and all kind of other good stuff. And here's the masa. It's really only ground about half of what we had prepared. We'll see if we've got enough. If not, we'll grind some more. But I think the rest of the corn that we didn't use we'll probably freeze and use later. So we try not to waste anything. Just incorporating whatever you like into your filling. So some cheese and refried beans and lots of seasoning.
Gotta put the salsa in it just a second.
Gotta put a little bit of salsa in there. Homemade salsa. What I found is that if you make them about the size of a golf ball, that's just about the perfect size. You just want to make sure you keep it wet so that it doesn't stick to the wax paper. That's not bad. We're just trying to refine the process. It's definitely trial by error. They actually are turning out pretty good. The key is trying to maintain some consistency, but it's not that big a deal. Now we're just going to fry them, and we'll probably have some for lunch today, and then the rest of them will freeze or whatever. And we're also going to make some actual tortillas that we can have with lunch. So it turned out really good. Just a little bit of homemade salsa. And man, talk about good. Turned out really good. Tastes great too. Excellent. Well, it's a pretty good feast. A little bit of work, but it's definitely well worth it.